Hello, everybody. Let's see. Let's try to come up with some levels for this coming up week. I got really busy last week and I wasn't able to make a video, but here we are. Everything is pretty much continuing to go up for the most part. So, like I say, let's keep playing the trend here. Um, Nvidia here made a new all-time high here. They lost that. They lost the low of that all-time high there for the guys that sent us up. So now it becomes a question of, are these buyers from down here going to defend their positions? So, like I always say, the lower they give you an entry, the better that entry is going to be as far as your risk reward and the amount of time that you can hold that trade. So really, you could try to take a long here. This zone here, 224.62, 224 flat. I'm not too confident in it, but it's still worth marking. This area here. So what could happen at this area, this zone right here, 227.55, 226.9, basically 90. Um, they can come in and basically, if they can reclaim this, that'll open up the door to at least come and fill this gap up to 236. And the extension target here is 241.03. Okay, that's kind of the extension target there for Nvidia, right? This would be my preferred location to try to take a trade from along. Uh, this would be B. This would be an A setup for me here, right? This one again, I'm not too confident in. This zone here is going to be 216.69, 214, 215 flat. Okay, if they can hold this level here, I would definitely target 221, then 224, then 226, then 236. From here, guys, you can get a really big move all the way back up to this high if these guys hold this level. Okay, so I definitely mark this. I'd have this sitting there waiting for when we get there. Right, that's what I got there for Nvidia, the level that I have. Tesla. If you guys have been watching any of the videos that I've been posting for over a month now, because this level we've had for over a month, I think since January. In each one of those videos, pretty much in all of them, I think I've mentioned this level and how important it was going to be, and how good of a short this level was going to give us. Again, this level had been sitting there, and I've mentioned it multiple times on multiple videos throughout the weeks. This guy is 255.9, 253.24. Okay, and this is what I mean, right? You just got to set your levels and just wait for them to get hit. Take a trade. I mean, look here, from 253 all the way back down 222. Right? I mentioned how this level here was going to give us a really big move to the downside once we finally got there, and that is exactly what happened. Right? Now Tesla's in a situation here where you did gap up here. Okay, so this level right here is I would be looking to take along from 417.65, 415.59. Again, you guys can just plot these on your chart. Just wait for price to pull into them. Right? If they lose this level here, there's a high chance we're going to come and fill this gap up, 212, and then ultimately possibly come and hit this 408, 407.71 level. But again, I would definitely be looking to to long this area here. I want to be clear on that. This is a automatic long here. The target to the upside are going to be this previous week value area low 429.72, and then ultimately I'm looking for a gap fill here from this level all the way back up to 440. Okay, from this guy right here. If they hold it, that's most likely what they're going to do. Again, this level is extremely important. If you didn't take the short, you can still mark this level and you can still short it when we get back up to it. Okay, if this level eventually fails and we get a break to the upside, there's a high chance that this is going to open up and come and fill this gap. up here. Okay, eventually, right? You could get some long dated calls here a couple weeks out and just let this thing play out. But for that to happen, we need a clean break. We need to maybe put in some higher highs here, build some value, trade above it, pull in, target here. Okay. But I want to be clear. That's these levels are all could be SR flips. So this level here, I'm going to short it again. If we pull into it, I'm going to take another short. Okay. If we break it, if I take a loss on that short, that's fine. I'm not going to get emotional about it. I'm going to be patient, let them execute higher, build some value, pull back. Then I'll look to be a buyer. With the initiative buyers, right? We need some initiation to take this level out, right? So the only people that can do that are banks, right? So I'll go ahead and you know, trade with the big guys if they break this, right? If they break this, that's the bullish case scenario there. Okay, these are the three zones that are of most importance here. 441.45, 439.91. Okay, this guy here, 417.75, 415.70. So I'm looking for them to hold here, at least 429, 440. I'd be out of most everything here, to be honest with you. And I'd look to see what they do here. I mean, you've got previous month value area low here, previous week value area high here, plus a level here. This all basically makes for really strong resistance. Doesn't mean they can't break it, but again, the rules are pretty simple. You come in from the bottom, you short it. That's it. There's really not another way around it. That's what I got for Tesla. AMD, we've got 422.94. Down to 418.87. You've got buyers sitting here. This is worth taking a stab long at. Ideally, I would like 420.76 for an entry. I'd put a stop at this gap 417.99. Okay, if they lose this, there's a high chance they're going to come and retest these buyers down here, in which case this would be a better long to take. This guy here is 407.36, 402.41. Okay, I would look for this midpoint for an entry, 404.89. Stop loss again below the gap, 496. Okay, if they can hold this level, I would target 420.76, this zone here. And on these runners, again, you could get some far dated calls here on these runners. This would be target 1 right here, 436.19, target 2, and ultimately target 3, 446.24. Look for this gap to get filled. Okay, that is what I would be looking for on AMD. Okay, that's what I got there. Let's see, Apple. Apple is at all-time highs. You've got buyers sitting here. This 295.35, 294.39. You got previous week value area low right in the middle of our zone, independently of the zone. So this adds a little bit more confluence on this zone here. So definitely, I would look to take a long here. They could give this midpoint right here where this previous week value area low is. That would be a really good entry. Stop loss would be at 293.87ish. Again, on this long here, I would target previous week POC 299, and ultimately maybe you can leave some runners here to 302. Okay. Bullish case scenario, let's say they open up for some reason above this level, I would look for them to hold it. This previous week value area high, and fib extensions is calling for 307.03 as a target to the upside if they decide to keep pushing. Okay, the best area that I would look to take a swing position long on Apple would be this 288.25, 286.76. Okay, from here again, I would target 292, 294, 299. You can get a big move from these types of zones here. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for there on Apple. Amazon here, similar situation. You've got this larger monthly area here. This is where you got your buyers. They built value. They gapped up above this previous level of resistance that we had been shorting multiple times. Here they try to short again. Ultimately, what happened is buyers came into the market. They gapped it up. Okay, they gapped up here. Then they pulled back into our zone after building some actual value here, and kept running. So on Amazon here, I would look to be a buyer in this area, preferably 258.75 at least. I would like them to give that. If not, really, I'd rather get in at 258 flat, right? Stop loss on that would be about 256.73. Okay, target on that, obviously previous week value area low, previous week POC, and then our next zone right up above. Okay, what I've got there for Amazon. SPY. SPY is at a pretty important level here. You got decent sellers that came into the market here, and you're running into these buyers now, right? So you're basically sandwiched in between two key levels here. I would look for them to hold this, ultimately target 743.60 if they can hold this guy here. This zone here, 737.31. They can hold that. The top of the zone is going to be 238.73. Again, if they can hold this level here, I would target this. Now, let's say they open up above this level, that would be bullish. They can open up above 744, 743.36. They can open up above this come Monday. I would definitely be looking to be a buyer here. Okay. Fib extensions on this guy here would be calling for, keep in mind this is the 65 minute, so the target is a little bit higher up. Let me see here on the 30 minute really quickly. You're still getting pretty much the same one. Yeah. So 754, pretty much same one. That's what I'd be looking to get. Obviously, if they do open up above this level, you are going to want to trim 746. Then you want to trim some more at 749. You call it 748.67 would be a safer one. And then runners, if you want to leave a couple of contracts running, see if they can give us this 754.21. Right. Keep in mind here. Let me see. Basically, on ES here, which is SPY, but in the futures market, we're running into a 4-hour strong low here. Okay, we've gotten changes of character on the 65 minute, the 30 minute, in the 5 minute, obviously, to the downside, right? However, right, we could potentially be just pulling back. So this low here, whatever that is on SPY, when is this? Wednesday. Wednesday. Give me 1 second here. Wednesday the 13th. Wednesday the 13th. Here. Okay. This guy essentially right here. Okay. This level is really important. Okay. This one. Let me see here. This level here is going to be a 4-hour strong low here. Okay. So what could happen here is if they were to lose this one, I would take a loss here. I would wait for them to pull into this 736.03, 735.44. This level is absolutely key. They need to hold this level. Okay, if they do not, that's going to then give us a change of character on the 4-hour time frame. which would then tell us like, okay, maybe these bears are getting a little bit more serious here. Okay, maybe sentiment is starting to change. We've officially taken out a 4-hour strong low. Right, so these are the levels here that I would definitely pay attention to uh, on SPY. Um, you know, you can call me crazy here. You guys can, a lot of you guys trade with a lot of emotion, and so you get those further out targets, and you think they're not feasible, when in fact they come regularly. Whether it be to the downside or the upside, they're showing you here the market can go a lot higher than you think it will. So like for instance here, you had an accumulation here from which they gapped up from. That means you've got strong buyers in the market here, and ultimately they basically pull up, hit the very top of it right here, at the top of this accumulation right here. This is basically the accumulation here that occurred right around here. Right, I would call it basically. I would qualify it as being here. Right? They came and they hit that accumulation from where they gapped up. Usually where you gap up from, this is where they were initiating or buying, consolidating, filling up inventory to then gap up. So this lets you know that there are potentially very strong buyers in this area, and they pull back into it, and this is the textbook opportunity where you're going to target this high. Right, so from 731 up to 740, that's $9. A lot of you guys might think, if I told you that beforehand to target this high, a lot of you guys get in trades and get out really quickly for a dollar move. Some of you guys even get out, within a few cents, especially if you have a lot of fear. I've been there before, and nonetheless, these types of moves will happen regularly. Okay, so if they hold this level, there's a very, very high chance you're going to go to 738, you're going to go to 743, and you're going to go and take out this high at 749. So from 735, you can get about a $14 move here to the upside and higher. Potentially go all the way up to 754. Okay, so this is where, again, I would look to be a swing, in a swing call from here. Okay. Hopefully you guys got that zone there. It is 736.06, 735.44. Okay, very, very important for bulls there. All right. Okay, for you guys trading futures here with me, similar situation here. This is where they kind of peaked above here. They try to protect it, right? Ultimately, they lost it. They built some value here below. We're looking at the 15-minute now. They built value below here, pulled back in, ultimately executed lower. They came back again, executed lower, right? This is why these levels here become SR flips. A lot of you guys that trade live with me, you see this stuff play out, live, so you guys know, how this stuff works. On ES again, this is that crucial level here, 74.03 to 73.97. Basically, you've got weekly value area low, weekly value area low sitting right in the middle. So that is going to be, an extra confluence there on that 4-hour strong low, which is this guy here. Right. So will these guys defend? If they do defend here, similar situation. We're going to target this previous day value area low, previous week POC. Then you could target this stacked previous day POC, previous day value area high. Then ultimately, our ultimate target would be 74.77. Right. If they can break above this and or open up here come Monday or any other day, really, that would be bullish. That would be reclaiming this upper level here. In which case, you're going to target this high here, 7,500 or 7,509, then 75.26, and then potentially a new high, new all-time high coming into the market, right? That's kind of what I've got there for ES. There's another level down here that's also worth mentioning and paying attention to. 73, 75.50, 73.665, right? I would look to be a buyer here. at 370, right, midpoint or lower. My stop would be right here at 73.63, basically this low here. Okay, if they give you this, since this is a 4-hour strong low here, I would pretty much be out of everything here, and I would short this, right? I would expect these sellers, if we lose this level, again, for you guys that are in my Discord, you guys know that you've got to come in with strong selling to take out strong buying. So, there's a high chance that these sellers here, if they lose this level, of course, are possibly going to defend that position, right? So you get a bounce from, if they lose this, they come in maybe, they give you a similar situation to here, they lose it here, pull back, go lower, and then from here they bounce back up to here, in which case you short, targeting that low and lower. Okay. So that's what I've got. If you guys have any other questions, or if you want me to look at any other ticker, you can at me in the chat, and I will try to get back to you guys. Have a good week, everybody.